There's a specific kind of pressure that only shows up when you're walking in obedience and no one follows. Not opposition, not criticism, silence, or distance. The absence of affirmation. The weight of leading forward while looking back and realizing that you're alone. This pressure does not hit at the beginning. At first, obedience feels strong, clear, convicted. And you know that God has asked you to do something and you're about to get it done. You step out with confidence. You assume that others will see it. I understand it. You know, join you. But then the days pass, then weeks, then longer, and the path behind you stays empty. That's when the pain starts to bear down. You feel it in leadership. You cast a vision, but nobody moves. You make a decision rooted in prayer, but it costs you influence. You choose integrity over confidence, and instead of support, you get questions, distance, a quiet pullback from people that you expected to stand with you. You feel it in business. You turn down opportunities that don't align, and others don't understand why. You refuse the shortcuts that would make money faster, and peers pass you by. You slow down to obey, and the market rewards those who push harder. You wonder if obedience is putting you farther and farther behind. You feel it in relationships. Conversations shift, energy changes. Some people drift without explanation. Others stay, but they stop engaging the same way. You feel misunderstood, but you're not sure how to explain yourself without sounding defensive or spiritualizing your choices. This pressure creates a deep internal conflict. You're not doubting God, you're doubting yourself. You ask quiet questions that you never say out loud. Did I hear him clearly? Did I move too soon? Did I misinterpret what I was supposed to do? If this is right, why am I so alone? That question hurts more than criticism ever could. The pain of no one following attacks the core of a leader's identity. Leaders expect resistance, they don't expect isolation. When no one follows, obedience starts to feel pointless, heavy, exposed. And if pressure is not addressed, it leads to one of two dangerous outcomes. You either retreat back to what feels safe and familiar, or you harden yourself and push forward without tenderness. Both create drift. This is where perspective has to shift for us. See, culture trains leaders to measure success by response: engagement, growth, applause, agreement, movement behind you. If people are following, you must be right. And if they're not, something must be wrong. That lens is deeply ingrained within us. Social media reinforces it daily. Numbers equal validation, visibility equals approval, and momentum equals correctness. And when Christian entrepreneurs absorb that lens, obedience becomes conditional. We obey as long as it works publicly. Scripture tells us a different story. Biblical obedience is rarely affirmed immediately. Often it isolates before it multiplies. Many of God's servants along walked alone a long time before anyone followed. Noah built while they mocked him. Abraham left without knowing where he was going. Moses stood between God and a people who constantly resisted him. Elijah, he thought he was the only one left. Jeremiah preached without results, and Jesus himself watched crowds thin when his words became difficult. The wrong lens tells you obedience should attract people quickly. The biblical lens shows that obedience often separates before it gathers. It clarifies before it multiplies. God is not testing your ability to lead the crowds. He is testing your willingness to obey without one. When you see clearly, you realize the pain of no one following is not evidence that you are wrong. It is often evidence that God is forming something deeper within you. He is clarifying motive. He is stripping dependence on affirmation and is anchoring obedience in trust rather than response. Obedience that survives in isolation becomes unshakable. Jesus never adjusted truth to keep followers. When many people walked away, he did not chase them. He didn't turn to the 12 and ask if they would. He turned to the 12 and asked them if they wanted to leave too. See, he allowed obedience to cost him popularity because his mission was anchored in the Father, not in the crowd. This perspective does not remove the pain, but it does give meaning. It reframes loneliness as refinement, not rejection. It reveals that following God does not always feel successful in the moment, but it is always forming something that lasts. That perspective leads to directly how we posture ourselves. See, under the pressure of no one following, many leaders collapse inwardly. They become tentative. They soften convictions. They second guess decisions constantly, and they start seeking permission instead of direction. Their posture becomes unsure, while others respond by hardening. They detach emotionally. They become rigid. They stop inviting people into the process. They lead from defensiveness instead of love, and their posture becomes guarded. Neither posture reflects alignment. Alignment creates a different way of showing up. An aligned leader remains open even when alone, steady even when unsupported, clear even when misunderstood. This posture is anchored, not aggressive, confident, but not loud. It does not beg people to follow, and it doesn't resent them for staying behind. It simply continues walking faithfully. An anchored posture holds conviction without bitterness. It holds compassion without compromise, and it allows grief for the loneliness without allowing it to redirect the obedience. Jesus modeled this posture throughout his ministry. He felt sorrow. He wept. He experienced abandonment. But he never allowed loneliness to alter his obedience. He didn't retreat. He didn't retaliate. He stayed aligned. This posture changes how you lead. You stop measuring your worth by the response the world gives you. You stop chasing agreement from others. You stop over-explaining yourself, and you let obedience speak over time. You show up consistent, grounded, available without needing the validation, present without needing the applause. You trust that those assigned will come when the time is right, not when your emotions demand it. This posture protects your heart. It keeps obedience clean. It prevents resentment from taking root, and it allows you to keep loving people, even who don't understand you yet. This brings us to how does the practice play out in our life? One decision, one real adjustment that you can make today. So here's your practice. Identify one place where the pain of no one following is tempting you to change course. Not abandon obedience, but soften it, delay it, dilute it. Something you know that God has asked you to do, but the loneliness is pressuring you to reconsider. Name it honestly. Then make one clear decision today. Reaffirm obedience without requiring affirmation. Out loud if possible. Say, I will continue to obey even if no one joins me right now, Father. Don't add anything. Do not adjust anything. Simply recommit today to do what you already know God has asked you to do. Then take one action that reflects that recommitment. Make the call. Take the step. Hold the boundary. Speak the truth. Continue the work, not dramatically, but quietly and faithfully. This is not about forcing outcomes. It is about staying aligned when obedience feels lonely. The pain of no one following does not mean you are off course. Often it just means that you're walking ahead of where others are ready to go. Obedience does not require an audience, it requires trust. And when God does bring people alongside you, they'll not be following your confidence, they'll be following the fruit of your faithfulness. If you're looking to join a community of other leaders, we are putting together a community that draws one another together to encourage, not to coach, to guide, not instruct, to support, not direct or push. So if that's you and you're interested in continuing to stay aligned without the drift, then I encourage you to go ahead, comment below this video, let me know, and I'll get you connected. You have an amazing day, and remember, there is beauty, there is grace, and there is greatness within you. Now go and share that with the world.